Whoop, can you hear me? We're going. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everyone to our Tuesday night team call. My name is Lisa Blaisdell. I'm a National Marketing Director in the HEAT team. I live in Southern California, but I'm coming to you from York, Maine, where my family and I are enjoying, I think it's like 13 days total of time away. But I love this lady so much that we are about to hear from tonight. And it didn't even occur to me when she said that she was available to train for us the last Tuesday of June that I would be away. But, you know, I love what we do so much, and I love all of you guys, and I love Michelle, and this does not feel like a burden to me at all. So I'm really, really, really happy to be on this call tonight and to be introducing to you someone that I have loved and respected from afar for a long time. And I had the privilege of being in one of our pods. And for those of you guys who are familiar with the Brave Leaders program, and hopefully all of you will be in that program at some point in your Juice Plus journey, I had the privilege of being in a group of national marketing directors with Michelle earlier this year. And I learned so much from Michelle, not just from a business point of view, but truly how much personal development has played a huge role in her success and in her life. And that really resonated with me because I have just loved the personal development journey. And in the last year myself have really taken this on in a bigger way. So we really bonded over that earlier this year. So I am going to read to you Michelle's bio, and then I am going to turn it over to her because she has a lot of great stuff to share with us tonight. Michelle Ball is a small town girl, former high school science teacher, 100 Club national marketing director, and most importantly, a mother to her 5 children in her beautiful blended family. Growing up on a farm gave her a strong value for healthy living and hard work. After finding the Juice Plus virtual franchise, Michelle, together with her amazing team, built a 100 Club organization with thousands of customers and team members in under 4 years. That is a big deal. She is passionate about helping people become happier and healthier, reminding them how powerful they are and teaching them how to spend more time with their families. Michelle, along with her fiance, Kelly, and their 4 children, live a life of choice and freedom because of their Juice Plus virtual franchise. And Michelle, your story is so heartfelt to so many people. Thank you again for being on our call tonight. And I am going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. I'm going to start tonight by sharing a little bit of my story because maybe there's people on the call that haven't heard it. I first heard about Juice Plus from my friend Sandy, and because I had grown up on a farm and because we grew up with a large garden, I was actually skeptical. And I just thought, I want to eat my fruits and vegetables the real way. Thanks, but no thank you. And for a year, I went on saying no to the product. And behind the scenes, my son Lincoln was struggling with serious tonsil infections that were getting him onto antibiotics every 2 months. And with that, we would have to do Advil Tylenol every 3 hours until that fever broke. So at the end of one of his tonsil infections, there would be 4 bottles of chemical lined up on the counter that I had pumped into his little body. And that started at 1 year old. So you can imagine the havoc that was wreaking on his little body. And I was starting to see behavior issues. His attention span was not where I wanted it to be. He was aggressive with his little sister. And I'm a teacher. I saw all the signs and I was not liking where we were headed. And that's when I thought, science mind, I'm going to get his tonsils taken out. And Sandy came at me with all her heart, just like Care Bear stare. She was like, okay, you know that I love Lincoln, right? And I said, are you going to talk about that Juice Plus thing? She's like, yes, I have to. You know what? If it's not for you, no problem. But I need to share my heart because what if this works? I would feel so guilty that your son had to go through a major surgery when it could have been handled by fruit and vegetable chewables. So of course she shared the information with me. I was impressed by the research, decided to give it a try, but still kind of thought I'd be canceling in 4 months and doing the surgery. Within 3 weeks, he was fighting his own infections. Fast forward 6 years and he has been tonsil infection free. His behavior is totally normalized. His attention span is completely normal. His aggression completely disappeared. He is the most empathetic, compassionate little boy that you've ever met. And everybody who's ever taught him will write that in his report card. And all along, unbeknownst to me, he was malnourished. I had no idea. I was such a good mom with feeding them Brussels sprouts and green beans and spinach salads. And they would eat it. That was my one thing I would one battle I always picked. And yet he was malnourished. So when I saw the way that Juice Plus turned his health around, and I found out that it's because it's vine ripened, it's because there's 30 fruits and vegetables in there, that variety that I wasn't giving him, and it's because it's the skins, pits, peels, seeds, everything that I wasn't getting, that just put a light bulb on for me. And I thought, oh my gosh, if we needed this product, other people need this product. So I ended up getting invited to a girls' weekend, and it was a Juice Plus event. And my friend said, yes, it's Juice Plus, but come and drink wine. So having young kids, I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good to me. And we went and had this fun sleepover. We stayed up so late, just like, girl talk in our pajamas. It felt like a slumber party. And what people didn't know about my life is at the time I was married, and at the time our marriage was struggling with my partner's addiction issues. And my life was dramatic and traumatic. There was a lot of stuff going down all the time. And I was sitting there on that bed. I still remember looking around, laughing till we were crying, that the way that girls are, thinking, whoa, I've lost my sparkle along this journey. And this feels really good. And I thought, if I never do anything else with this business, it doesn't matter. I just want the girlfriends, the soul sisterhood. I need that in my life again. And so I went to the event the next day thinking not much of it, and was totally blown away by the marketing plan, by the potential of this, and by the real rawness that Carrie and Mickey Daigle shared with us. They shared with us their lifestyle, and I saw through their lifestyle that this was a real business. I had already tried 3 different businesses. I was an entrepreneur by total nature, and yet all of those ventures were difficult to get off the ground. I wasn't making money with them. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love this product. I love the research. People need to know about this. What if I could make a couple $1,000s a month, and this would be like my permanent mat leave for the rest of my life? I could decide when I go back to teaching, but for now, stay home and raise my kids and still have this income. And so that was my goal. And really quickly, I got to a quarter of the way there, $500 a month. Sales coordinator, so excited. All the recognition was amazing. Again, just amping up that sparkle that I had lost in the journey of life, and just feeling great. And then totally got blindsided by a curveball in life. And for me, that was divorce. And so my husband at the time decided that he was no longer able to battle that addiction and left. And overnight, I became a single mom earning $500 a month. And I had to make a real decision. Do I go back to teaching, or do I work this business? But because I had seen the potential of this business, somebody showed me that when you hit 39 Club, you can make $10,000 per month. And I knew that if someone else had done that, I could do that. And that is what kept me in the game. I thought, okay, if I work really hard and I stay really focused, I'm going to be able to hit that level. And until then, if I have to substitute teach, I can. So long story short, I got to national marketing director within a year. And of course, at that level, full medical benefits, tuition reimbursement package for my children. And that was, at that level, I was earning the same amount as a teacher. So I thought, okay, phew, probably my whole family breathed a sigh of relief, because I'm sure they were having an intervention meeting about me behind my back. Like, we've got to get this girl out of that crazy fruit and vegetable thing she thinks she's going to do and back into teaching. And I proved to everybody, you guys, this is real. And so fast forward from there, and I'll share with you guys tonight, because the topic of tonight's call is recruiting and duplicating. And there was a time where I wasn't doing that properly. And that was the time where I got to NMD. So I got there because I begged, borrowed, and drugged people with me. Like, I picked anybody who would come on the journey with me, and I almost did it for them. So I got stuck at NMD. And I'm going to say on this call really openly that everybody gets stuck somewhere in this business. You might get stuck at VF. You might get stuck at DD. You might get stuck at SSC. Everybody has a place where they hit a wall. And that wall is a combination of the fact that you need to grow as a person because there's something that you haven't addressed about yourself. Maybe you keep drawing in the same kind of team members over and over and over again. Maybe you're not confident enough to go after the ones that are amazing at life, those ones that you drool over and you look up to. So it's a combination of personal development and a combination of finding a system. So I'm going to talk about those things as we go. But yeah, I got to 100 Club in 3.5 years. I I'm not going to lie, I was exhausted. Like, that's a lot of work in 3.5 years. And my kids and I got to celebrate that accomplishment together, and it was amazing. And all of a sudden I was making enough money that I had more than enough. I could give back. I could give my time. I could say yes to holidays with my children. I could spend a month down in Arizona with my parents in the winter. All of these things that a single mom usually doesn't have access to. And it was amazing because I kept drawing in these single moms that wanted that too. And I was able to inspire them, which felt even better. And so that's my story. And I love that this business has been alongside me through all of the seasons of life. You know, life is not perfect. Life has many ups and downs. I mean, when I was going through my divorce, I will never be able to repay this company for the fact that I could love my kids through that divorce as my number one priority, and my business was number two. And I could still make an income while being on the floor playing with my daughter at 2 years old, while holding my son in my lap and telling him that the divorce wasn't his fault. That is irreplaceable time. And, you know, as I went through the seasons of my life, I met the most wonderful man, and we're now engaged, living together, and getting married this summer. And this business was there for that season too. I was able to take time away to blend my family, to honor what we were going through as a family, you know, growing together. And although it was pretty seamless, it still took attention and time. And this business allowed that for me as well. Not only that, I was just getting so much love and affection from the community. There is nothing like this community. You will never find a village like this. And I think it's because the product itself draws in the most amazing healers, light workers, and lovers. Like, it brings in the most beautiful human beings, and they just love on you and support you through all of the parts of your journey. And most recently, my kid's dad passed away of heart failure, and it really rocked our world, even though that we knew that it was a possibility with the addiction issues. It is not something you can prepare for. And through that season, this business and this community were there. I got to take as much time off as I needed to with my children to love them through that, because that's tough. Like, nobody ever wants to dress their kids up for the funeral day of their dad. It is not the natural thing to do when they're 7 years old and 9 years old. But I got to stay home with them. I got to love them through that season of their life. And not only that, the community was showing up with food and love and cards and flowers and just being here for us. And I just, honestly, you guys, life has many ups and downs, and you need a village. You need a tribe for those. And this tribe has proven itself to me time and time and time again. And I cannot repay that. Ava, do you want to say hi? Did you hear me talking about you? And so, yeah, this is my number one priority. I just got out of a school volunteer day with her. She washed her arm, so it's not there anymore, but I was on face painting. And so, oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's what counts, right? Is that you get to be a mom first, or be whatever matters to you first, whether that's a traveler, an explorer, being with your family. Everybody's different. For me, it's being a mom, and then I can do my business second. Yeah, it's there a little bit. Doesn't show. Anyways, so I'm going to get into my training now that I've shared my heart with you, now that you hear kind of my story and the seasons of life that this business has been through. And there's many more seasons ahead. And I know that this business is going to be right there beside me, along with that community. So stay and be a part of this community. It's the best thing you could ever do. And it's just like, it's awesome because there's no monthly minimum. I mean, literally, we have had people that say, I love this culture. I'm just going to pay the $50 for a social life. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Come on in. And of course, they end up loving the product and loving the business and going for it. So one thing that I'm going to say, so the first topic that I'm going to talk about tonight is recruiting. And I love recruiting. It's something that I've always been strong at. And even well before the company was supporting us doing this, I started doing this. And they used to say, don't mix your drinks. Don't talk about product and business in the same events. And those of you who've been around for a while, you'll probably remember that. And I was just like, I have to mix drinks. It's not my choice. I'm so sorry, but I don't know what they need. I knew what I was struggling with behind the perfect highlight reel of Facebook. And everybody would have thought my life was perfect. I was married to a firefighter and an engineer, and we had 4 beautiful children, and everything looked amazing. And if somebody hadn't shared the business opportunity with me, where would I be today? So I knew that you can't guess what people need. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys tonight is always share both. It's our responsibility to let people know about this business, because people are looking, and they may not say they're looking, and they probably don't know that they're looking for network marketing, because they'll have that weird misconception about what network marketing is. So therefore, it's our responsibility to share both so that they can make the choice. And when they understand what it is that we do and how simplistic it is and the product that we stand behind, then they start thinking, I didn't realize this was a real business. And some of the people that you might never have thought wanted to do this business will do this business, will change their life with it, will be on the stage one day thanking you for sharing both, for letting them know that there was a business behind this product. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped the ball on that, where I'm just like, doing a shred or something, and somebody signs up for the shred, and I don't even think to offer the business because they just saw the shred and wanted to do the weight loss thing or whatever. And then they say to me afterwards, oh my gosh, I didn't realize there was a business behind this. I totally need it. Our family has gotten hit by the recession. We are really struggling financially right now. It's so embarrassing to talk about. And here I am like, duh, like, even I forget sometimes. It's so important. We must share both. And I would encourage you to take this as a responsibility, because people are looking, and they might end up signing up for something that is not near as high quality as what we have to offer. We have a company that's been around for 50 years. We have a company that's debt-free. We have a company that's over $10 billion in sales. We have a product that's 25 years on the market with 40 published clinical research studies. I mean, there are a lot of things out there that people are joining simply because the person that's involved in that is brave, right? And they're posting on social media, and they're saying, we're recruiting. And they wear people down, and people join that opportunity because they don't feel like they have another option. And here you are with them on your list in your phone or on a notepad, and you're scared to talk to them because you're scared that they would never want to do something like this, but they're looking. So it's our responsibility to share with them what we have, because ours is the best of the best of the best, you guys. The marketing plan, the product, the company, like, we must share. It's our responsibility. So that brings me down to the type of events that work for sharing both. And one thing that's really been successful in our team since we created some duplication is that we do the same kind of event no matter what it's called. Sometimes you'll see us call it Boss Babes. Sometimes you'll see it called Wine and Wellness. Sometimes you'll see it called the Freedom Project. Regardless of what it's called, it's always this. We share about 10 minutes of product information, followed by 2 product stories. And then we do a clear transition into the business. And what I mean by that is we say, you know what, in these events, we always share the business just in case one person in here might be looking. We would be doing a disservice if we didn't share this part of it. If you don't want to be a distributor, you don't have to. You can just order the product. But we have to share because this business has changed our life just as much as the product. So that's a clear transition. And with that clear transition, you open people's heart and mind to the next portion of the event, which is business information. And business information we keep really short. We don't have to say a ton about the company or the how long it's been. We'll say how long it's been around, that it's debt free, that it's $10 billion in sales. More recently, we've been starting to share a little bit of information on a whiteboard, such as when you get to 3 Club, that's $1,000 a month. That's been something that's working really well for us to paint that vision of, a mortgage payment or some significant money for the household that's relatable. People will get intimidated by $30,000, $40,000 a month, but $1,000 a month feels possible for most people. And so that's what we've been doing there. And then 2 strong business stories. And then wrapping it up with, you know what, if something on this call or at this event spoke to you, listen to that voice inside and talk to the person who invited you and let them know what you thought. Because if not this, then what is it going to be for you? What is it going to be that changes your life? What is it going to be that addresses the pain that you're going through, the challenges that you're going through? And if not now, then when? When is the right time? And it's just a really powerful close. It makes people think. It's an open-ended question. And then I always close by, there's no risk. There are no monthly minimums. There is nobody telling you how to do anything you don't want to do. And it's a $50 international business. So what if this was it? What if this is the thing that's going to change your life? So That's our event style, and I love it because it allows people to choose. We've designed it perfectly to keep their mind open for the whole event. And then by the end, somebody who normally would have been triggered by the business information is usually the one that's like, I had no idea that this was a real business. And most people don't. Most people think you sign up for these things to get a discount on your product only, right? So we need to share that legitimacy. So now I want to talk about the stories that we have on the call, because these events can't go on forever. We like to have our events take about 30 minutes, because that's about the attention span that people will give to you if they're offering to support you, to come, you see what you're up to, or that kind of thing. And in order to have a 30-minute call, if you're doing 10 minutes product, 10 minutes business information, you need each story to be about 2 minutes long. So that's really tight. So we learned this from the Australians, and it's working really well for us. We were doing this, but we were longer. And basically, when you're grooming people to share their story, or even when they're new and you're helping them develop a story, you want to ask them, what is your pain? And I know that seems awkward and a little bit out there, but it's so important, because as Simon Sinek says, nobody is going to buy what you're selling. They buy why you're selling it, why it matters to you. And it's so important to get your new team members sharing their why. And they don't even have to have swallowed a capsule yet to have a story. So for example, this is how it is. What is your pain and what are you excited about? So if somebody brand new is like, you know what? I'm really excited I ordered this product because I don't know if you know this, but I have no energy to keep up with my kids right now. I'm struggling with thyroid issues. I'm not feeling like a good parent. I'm barely able to get through the day. I'm going to sleep when they go to sleep. I don't have enough time to do the things I want to do as a mom. And I'm really excited because I've seen a lot of other people have positive results with thyroid issues. And also, this is a research product that's 30 fruits and vegetables. And I'm just pumped for the little bit of extra energy I'm going to get. Boom, that's their product story. So what is your pain and what are you excited about? And that's what we do with the story. So then after somebody comes to one of these events, you have to groom your team as well for following up. And I always like to have them follow up with their own story. So if they brought them to an event where they didn't get to share their own story, help them to develop their product story and business story into a little selfie video that they're going to send to the person as follow-up. Hey, I just wanted to thank you for coming to that call last night, or coming to that event yesterday, or coming to that wine and wellness. I didn't get to share my story with you, so I wanted to do that just quickly now, share my heart around why I'm doing it, and then send along that little selfie video. And then right away, the person's like, oh, okay, I totally get it. Wow, that story's amazing, or oh, I'm so excited for you. And as soon as they give any positive feedback at all, because when you ask for their feedback, you ask, what did you love about it? What did you like best? Because you want to get them thinking about the positives. As soon as you get a positive out of them, I would encourage you to set them up in a 3-way message. Facebook message usually works best because everybody's there already. A 3-way Facebook message with your experienced upline. So if your upline is brand new like you and they haven't been around for long, then you want to go one above that. But don't go up to your NMD. It's not necessary to go up and get like the big guns out for this. Just somebody who's experienced. Because when you pop them into a 3-way message, what you'll say is, you know, oh, this is my friend Teresa. She loved the call last night. She was sharing with me that she loved this. And Trudy, I wanted her to hear your story. And so Trudy comes on as a voice note and just says, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you got on the call last night, Teresa. This is what I've noticed since being involved with the product and business. What were your thoughts on it for you? And they'll be the brave one that asks that person, have they ever thought of trying the product or business? Sometimes you won't have to do the 3-way message because you'll just do it yourself and say, like, what do you think? Do you want to give this a go? But if you're not brave enough, do it as a 3-way message. Let your upline be, you know, good cop, bad cop, where you just are the innocent bystander and they can totally be the one that does the awkward ask. And then after that, they're just going to navigate their objections, right? Usually people, once they've been to one of those events, are going to really be inspired and think, oh my gosh. But the only thing that will hold them back is their belief that they can do it. And they're not going to put that into words yet, but through this 3-way message, when you ask them directly, what do you think? Do you think that this would be something that you could do? Then usually they'll say, yeah, but like, I'm not a salesperson. And that's when the upline or the experienced, you know, business partner will say, you know what makes you feel like you would have to be good at sales? Ask a few more questions, get them talking about that so they elaborate, and then be like, yeah, feel, felt, found, right? I felt the same way when I started, but what I found out is sales actually really bombs in this business. People who come in with a sales approach do horribly. And what I've learned is that we share our hearts, and the people that are interested join, and the people that aren't don't. So you have your business partner navigate those objections in that three-way message. It doesn't have to be a three-way call, because sometimes these days those are hard to set up with how busy everybody is and how they kind of are like, what? I have to get on a three-way call now? I already came to the event. What do you want me to do now? But a three-way Facebook message is so easy and simplistic. And so that's what we're doing in order to recruit in a nutshell. It's kind of hard to push that all in, but you guys have a recording, so you'll be able to go back and look over some of this stuff. And so the last thing that I wanted to talk about, because the last part of my call is about duplication. Duplication is going to come in with a system like this, with a startup system. So I don't know what you guys have. I know every team's different. We have a website that we use with a startup system. There's a brand new one that the company has just launched. You can use that one. If you guys have one separately, use that one. What I would advise is pick one and stick with it. Because when I decided that we were going to do a website, we knew that it was going to take some time to get the buy-in, right? Like, we've been doing business all the way up until now a certain way, but now we have a startup meeting and we have to read these 10 steps directly. Okay, that's different, right? Anytime you're making changes like this, you must stick with it for at least 6 months to 12 months, 6 months to a year. Okay, so you guys are using the Freedom Revolution. So be relentless with that choice. Definitely be like, okay, you got a new rep. When are you going to be doing the Freedom Revolution steps with them? Tell me how that goes. I'd love to hear their feedback, right? So you're the one as their upline that are going to be, giving some accountability to your reps to be like, are you using this? Because we've just launched a bit of a new system. We had the Australians here. We picked their brains and completely took everything they were doing. Much of it was exactly the same as what we were doing, but we weren't successful with online Zoom events. And so we took all the things they said. We made a decision as a leadership that we were going to go for it, and we have not looked back. There's no changing it. And what we're doing right now is a live video every other day in our team page about the new system. Every other day. Every time I do a coaching call, I redirect them to the new system. Every time I have a welcome message for a new rep. So usually what happens is we get a new representative and they welcome them to the NMD. So the NMD meets them through a Facebook message. I'm right away saying, when are you coming on your startup call? We do Monday Start Strongs every Monday. Are you coming on the Monday call? And I'm relentless with this. And that's why a system works. That's what's going to get you duplication. If you're not after your team members, and not after, but firm with your team members about what you've made it as a decision, then it's just going to be kind of like, well, we were doing this and now we're doing this, and people will feel a little lost. It takes a long time to turn a ship, but when you do, oh my gosh, guys, momentum like crazy. Because then when you are going out and you're getting these high level prospects, and I'm talking the 10 out of 10s that you drool over and they've been on your chicken list for, years and years and years, and you finally ask them to come and take a look at what you're doing and they joined your team. Those are the people that absolutely thrive with a system, because they don't want to wait for you. They're driven. They can be successful at anything they do. They have already proven that time and time again in their life, or else they wouldn't be on your chicken list. And so if you give them a system to go along with this product, they will literally run straight to NMD. And so that's all it takes for duplication. Make sure you're leveling up with who you're prospecting. You're looking for those people that you would give a higher rating than yourself even. If you would give yourself a 7 out of 10, you want to be prospecting the 8s, 9s, and 10s, because those are the people that are going to keep you inspired and motivated. Those are the people that are going to be a lot harder to get into your business. You may have to drip on them for months and months and months, sometimes years, and they are going to take all the work up front. But when you get them in, they're almost no work at all, because they'll take a hold of this system and this product and they will just go for it. So that kind of brings me to the end of my content for tonight on team building, recruiting, and duplication. And so I don't know if you guys want to stop the recording or if you want to ask some questions. I'm open.
I have a question that I think probably a lot of people do. And Michelle, this was amazing. I can't wait to listen to this again. I'm like taking copious notes on my phone. When you guys do your events, maybe you've changed it now in the last few months, but the event that you described, do you do that? Is that an in-person event, or can you also do that online now?
Yeah, I do it every event, no matter if it's in person or it's online. So we're doing it on Zoom twice a week now. I do one on Thursdays. Sandy does one on Wednesdays. So there's a variety of choice. And again, our first few calls, there was like 10 people there. Then it was 20. Then now we're up to 140. So they build because we're relentless. But the same event format, whether I'm in person or whether it's online.
Okay. Amazing. Michelle, this was amazing. Nick, do you have any other questions that you think everyone might be asking? This, I can't wait to listen to this call again. And just so that, I don't know if you're seeing this, perhaps my favorite call yet. Thank you so much. Another one of my team members wrote, agree, my hand is hurting from writing. Oh my gosh. Michelle, I know you're a superstar. I know you guys are on fire, and and with all the life that you've had, and thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing some of the challenging seasons in your life. I know that you're just, you're just as real and as raw as it gets. And it's one of the things I love about you so much. You just put it all out there, and you give us all permission to be real and to just be who we are in this marketing plan. And you have just demonstrated that through that, you can just have the most abundant success. And I'm just so happy for you and all that you have this summer with your wedding coming up. So thank you so much again. Nikki, do you have any questions?
Sorry about that. I just really want to thank you, Michelle. I expected it to be fabulous, and it was better than I expected. How fun is that? In our business, we often say, under promise and over deliver. And you just did a fabulous job. And it's such a treat to listen to you speak. So I also took a ton of notes. I had to reach back and get my notebook once you started talking. I knew I needed to take notes. So we just really want to thank you. And what I'd love to do is remind everybody that we're going to continue to have our Tuesday night calls. Next week is Tuesday. It's the 3rd. It's small team call. So make sure you're on it. And I'm going to unmute everybody, and I want everybody to give Michelle a really hot thank you, because that's who we are.
Downstairs.
Woo!
Thank you, Michelle. Woo!
Thank you,
Michelle. Thank you.
Michelle. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.